Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
We got another 2023 kind of collection video here.
Yeah, we talked the other day when we were skiing on these about how we've done a lot of collections this year, and it seems pretty fun.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are enjoying them.
Yep.
I know a lot of people are waiting for reviews of skis that we've had in collections, and those reviews are coming. But we think some of these are important. You know, we won't do this for every brand, but some of them feels important, and this is one that feels pretty important to me.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job, you know, in the written piece saying they've expanded yet condensed at the same time. So this is a good example of that.
Yeah, so here we've got both the men's and women's Rossignol Sender and Rallybird collections for 2023. I will say, just to start, you know, we've got 3 men's skis up here. Technically, it's 5.
Yeah.
You know, there is a narrower ski that's a system ski, and then there's the Sender Squad. And the Sender Squad's like one of those skis where, like, if you have to ask about it, then you don't need it.
Right.
It's designed for a specific purpose. I know some of you guys have it and have skied it and love it. But kind of to start, for the past 2 years, we've had the Rossignol Black Ops collection, which was almost like all-encompassing of anything that wasn't an experience or narrower.
Right, like anything remotely free ride fell under Black Ops.
Right, and I think it got a little confusing.
Yeah.
I'll admit that there were times when I was confused. I think there were times when you were confused.
Yeah.
And if we're confused, then probably you guys are a little confused too. So for 2023, Rossignol's taken that and basically split it into, you know, 3 or 4 different lines. So now we have Sender and Rallybird, which I suppose you could consider 1 or 2 lines if you want to differentiate men's to women's. We then have a Black Ops collection, which is kind of going back to the original theme of the Black Ops. They're all twin tips.
Right.
And then they've taken Escaper, that name, and that's kind of home to their new touring collection. And those skis are like totally new.
Totally new, totally touring oriented. You know, we will not, I don't foresee us getting into a discussion of resort applications of the new Escaper lines.
Probably not. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's like one maybe that would be
they all have like the skin notch in the tip, and
right.
they're very touring.
Chances are you'll see them in like touring comparison videos next fall, but perhaps nothing else. Time will tell.
Yep.
So, you know, these are their directional all-mountain / freeride skis. And there aren't huge changes in here depending on the ski compared to the ski that it's replacing. But in some situations, it does feel like a totally new ski.
Yeah.
So I think we can just start right off. We've got this Sender 94 Ti. And perhaps this is the biggest departure from the ski it replaces.
I think both from a marketing and a physical standpoint.
Yeah.
You know, my big dig on that Escaper was that it was in the free touring line.
Right.
Where it was really more of a resort ski in my mind.
Yeah.
And this kind of takes it to the next. This solidifies my theory from last year that Escaper, now Sender 94 Ti, belongs in this lineup.
Yeah, I agree. And it also, like, it felt like there was kind of a void in Rossignol's line of skis. Like, you know, you went from Experience 86 Ti, and the next directional ski with metal in it was 104.
Right.
Like, that's a big jump. If you're a directional skier and you want something with some metal in it, there was nothing there.
Right.
You know, they used to have the Experience 92 Ti, before that the Experience 94 Ti. So this kind of feels like it's really taking the place of those skis. But we do have essentially an Escaper shape here. You know, there's no big changes from the Escaper in terms of shape. But Bob, what's going on inside this thing?
Similar to Escaper, we're still seeing that lighter weight Polonia wood core.
Yep.
Really offers that snappy energy to it.
Yeah, very snappy.
You know, it's pretty stiff. We also get the air tip. We also get the damp tech. So we're able to have this rubberized material in the forebody of the ski. Really does a great job at smoothing out these kind of miniature vibrations without adding a whole lot of weight. And we've seen a lot more of this kind of rubbery material lately, and it works really well.
Yep.
The big change is the addition of that metal plate underfoot.
Yeah, Titanal beam.
So their Titanal beam, pretty much underfoot. You can kind of see it under the top sheet, but
In the right light.
yeah, yay big.
Yep.
And it does help with the grip, torsional stiffness underfoot, certainly that on-trail personality where, if you're looking at a ski in that mid-90s range, you want this thing to work well both on and off trail.
Yep.
And that metal underfoot really takes this ski to a different level than the Escaper was. So
Yes.
a big difference in terms of performance. You can certainly feel it. You can certainly feel the energy underfoot as well as it keeping that swing weight nice and light and pretty stable throughout. So
Yeah, it's funny to think that like a Sky 7 like influenced this ski
Right.
like with the air tip.
and then
'Cause
they're
it-
just so different.
Yeah, it's way stronger than
Yeah.
all those skis, which is really has been a theme that Rossignol's had the past couple of years. But no, I think it's great. I think it takes a lot of the maneuverability aspects of the Escaper and just gives you that much more grip underfoot,
Yeah.
more precise ski. I think it's going to satisfy a lot more advanced expert skiers, where we were kind of saying with the Escaper, like if you were an advanced expert skier, you probably shouldn't be like the most aggressive skier if you're
Yeah.
choosing that ski. More of a moderate speed, wiggle through trees, stuff like that, where you can certainly still do that on this, but it does feel a little stronger.
And we see kind of a similar difference between 94 and when we get here, the 106, more straighter of a cut. When we get into 104 and 102, we see a shorter turn radius. And that's just a little bit of a difference in the taper shape. So in these two models specifically, the 104 and the 102, we do see that taper brought down. So it does tighten up the radius.
Yeah, what do we got for a radius in this length?
This, in the 178 I'll use is 19 meters. So, on the longer side, whereas you can probably read
Yeah,
that one
178
there.
and this is 18.
Yeah, so it's a little shorter, wider of a ski. And then it bumps back up to 18 to 21 in the 106.
Yeah, and this comes in right at 1,750 grams.
Yeah.
So pretty
Still
darn
pretty
light.
Yep.
Very flickable. Definitely on the lighter side of the spectrum
Yep.
conversation for this range of skis. And then on the women's side, I think if you were just to look at these skis on the wall of a ski shop, you might think that they're the same from men's to women's, and boy, they're awfully close, but not quite. And I think that holds true through the whole thing. Like these aren't quite the same, those aren't quite the same, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So basically, this drops that Titanal beam. Get everything else, same shaping concept, damp tech, all that good stuff, Polonia wood core, but drops the Titanal beam. I will say that I'm pretty impressed how strong this seems still.
Yeah, you still get that stiffness in the flex. It is not like a noodly 92.
Right.
It's pretty reactive.
Right. I think this is going to earn a lot more skiers than the Stargazer, even though those skis are exceptionally similar.
Yep.
I think this is a better top sheet graphic. I think it's a better story. I don't know why, but I do feel like a lot of skiers are going to choose this. It was a lot of fun watching Allie just kind of cruise some groomers on it. It was equally fun watching Emily just yesterday kind of make some really quick, agile turns through kind of some pseudo bumps on the side of the trail.
Yeah, and I think that it being part of a family of skis will make it more appealing to more skiers versus Stargazer.
Black Ops Stargazer really felt like it got lost.
Yeah, and even us in the industry that know a lot about skis, still questioning, is this the Stargazer or the Blazer? We even had questions within amongst us as to which ski was which. So I'd imagine it would be, like you said, more confusing for the general public.
Yep. Much more clear now.
Yeah, much more clear.
This 162 centimeter length comes in just under 1,600 grams. So I think you could say it really about most of these skis. Maybe we end that conversation over there where things get heavier, but nothing wrong with a hybrid touring binding on there.
Nope. Yeah, great ski, all around. Again, in that mid-90s range, you're going to see a lot of versatility there. So, one ski quiver shoppers. That's
one squiver.
One squiver. I think we made a new word, a neologism, if you will.
Oh boy, squiver.
Yeah, I like it.
Sometimes I entertain myself too much. And then we jump up to the Sender 104 Ti.
Yeah.
Another great ski. I'll take the one with the graphic on it. So really pretty similar from 94 to here, but we gain that line control technology that Rossignol has been using in a lot of skis for a while now. They've kind of gone away from metal line control technology and moved more into the visco material.
Right.
But this is essentially replacing the Sender, so far in that it's the same exact shape,
right?
And that's pretty much true across the board here. Big difference between the existing Sender and this ski is they've really extended that Titanal beam. You can see it quite a bit in the graphics that they've put out, and that really does quite a bit to change the ski's feel, I think. It's still more the same thing than different, but you can feel it for sure.
And the other addition, which I don't think we've talked on, is the ridged Titan beam. So by making a little ridge in that metal, they are putting it in a 3D application. And we've talked about this before with, Volcal's 3D carbon, fiberglass, or Elan ripstick carbon tubes. When you take those materials and put them in a curved or angled shape, it really adds power to it. So you can feel a difference in this versus Sender, I found.
Yeah, so basically anything that has a Titanal beam in its construction, and you'll see this throughout the line. If you go to Rossignol's site, it'll be listed in the specs of the ski.
Yep.
Anything that gets Titanal beam gets that ridge. And we had in our hands like an example of that ridge, and it's maybe like, I'd say 5 millimeter by a centimeter wide raised ridge right down the middle of the ski. Not up here, right in the middle of the ski.
But that's kind of how they incorporate that LCT metal.
It feels very similar, Very similar concept
of way of putting metal in the ski.
Yep.
So it's interesting, and I definitely felt like this one was pretty lively. With
lively.
That shorter turn radius.
Yep.
Still with the Polonia wood, so slightly stiffer of a flex while remaining pretty light. This one comes around more than the other, than 106 and 94.
And how it comes across the fall line.
Yeah. Yep. Again, just dropping that taper shape a little bit and shortening that arc. So it's a little bit livelier of a ski, and a good choice for skiers that want that wider option, but don't, either they want it to be their snow day ski or they live in a snowier zone where this is going to be their squiver.
It's really interesting to me in skiing this ski and then talking to Rossignol about it and stuff like that. Pretty much all they're saying about how they changed it is more metal plus that metal ridge. For whatever reason, I didn't remember it being that playful. I had it.
This or Sender?
I don't remember Sender being as playful as I felt on this.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the conditions. Maybe it was the terrain. I had that fun day at Pico on them, but they just felt more flicky.
Yeah.
They felt lighter on my feet. They felt more energetic. They felt a little more willing to play. I always wonder, there is more metal underfoot. I always the way that my mind works is I wonder by putting more mass around your feet, is that actually improving swing weight? I don't know. I don't actually know the answer to that, but that's kind of how it felt to me. It felt strong and stable underfoot, but the tips and tails felt very light.
Yeah.
Very swingy. Flicky.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to know, we haven't really talked about a rocker profile here, but very similar to Sender, where we do have that fairly directional tail. Like there's not a whole lot of splay back there. And I think that works well, like you were saying, with it being springy, that
Right.
you get to feel the full
Yeah.
energy of the
out
tail.
of the ski.
Yeah, where that's differentiating itself, from Black Ops with the twin tip and, that more playful feel. This, you really get that bounce.
Yep. And I had it on the scale there momentarily, but what length do we have here? 178, and it comes in just over 1,900 grams. I think last time we weighed it was just under 1,900 grams, so our scale's a little all over the place. But hovering right around 1,900 grams, which is certainly not like too heavy by any means.
Yeah, and then we move into the ladies version, the 102. Interesting kind of, differences and similarities here, I think. So, Stargazer, no.
This was Rallybird.
This was Rallybird.
This was the first
This was
one.
the Rallybird,
Yep.
right.
So this is replacing the Sender.
Yep.
This is replacing the Rallybird non-TI.
Short turn radius, right? We are 13 meters in the 162. So, I mean, this is like slalom turn shape on
Totally.
this.
And what's the construction breakdown in that ski?
It is Polonia, dual LCT, air tip, and damp tack.
Right. So similar conversation to over here.
Yep.
Drop that Titanal beam.
Yep, and the LCT in this one as well. So you do get, that nice even flex throughout. Still stiff with the Polonia, but pretty light. It's right around 1730.
Another one that you could throw an Alpine Touring binding on.
Yep.
Without question.
Yeah, and just a really fun overall ski. Again, you're getting that energy and that pop out of the shorter radius and the flatter tail. So, really good option for skiers who are getting that energy.
Yeah, and I think, for somebody looking for like very well-rounded soft snow ski, I think it's a great choice. It's not too demanding. It's strong enough that it'll be supportive of a pretty aggressive skier, but it's still like, it's relatively easy to ski.
Yeah,
still.
Yeah, they're approachable, especially due to that turn shape.
And if you want more, there's a ski on the end there that we can jump up to.
Yeah.
And then moving to this Sender 106 TI Plus. I remember to say the plus. This is replacing the Sender TI, and it's pretty interesting because I would say this is where we see like the biggest difference in construction from this ski to this ski. So from here to here, we go Polonia to Poplar. This ski also gets carbon alloy matrix, which hopefully you guys can see. It's that kind of, it's what we've grown to kind of expect it from Rossignol. They've used it in a lot of different stuff now, that classic kind of cross hatching. Yeah. And then this ski gets significantly longer metal. So say the damp tech portion of the ski starts here. I don't know if it actually does, but let's say it does. The metal extends all the way to that damp tech. So the metal in this ski compared to the metal in this ski is both longer and wider by a pretty significant margin. You still get that ridge in it, and I'd say add up all those things, Poplar, longer metal, carbon alloy matrix, and this ski has a noticeably different feel than that ski. That ski feels snappy and quick and energetic. This ski feels damp and strong and powerful and just like...
It's fast.
It's a lot, it's a lot of ski.
It's really fast.
This goes from being something that's pretty darn approachable, I'd say. A lot of different people can ski this.
Yeah.
Same as that. A lot of different people can ski that. This, I think, is built for an advanced expert skier.
And we talked about it with Sender TI too. We get three sizing options starting at 180 and going up.
Right, and it's always been that.
Yeah, we mentioned it with Sender TI. If you don't ski a 180, this isn't yours.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, I'm kind of glad that Rossignol does that.
Yeah.
Because if there was like a 172 in this, that kind of wouldn't work.
Right.
Like I just feel like the feel in this ski wouldn't really work in a shorter length like that. It just wouldn't carry over.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun. I know you've been enjoying this one quite a bit, Bob.
I was on that all day yesterday and
Right.
had a blast. I mean, at the end of the day, I was a little fatigued, but
Sure.
it was nice because I went from that to the 104 and was really able to experience the difference in the energy of the ski,
Yep.
the shorter radius. This one is longer. I think the 187 is, what does it say, 21 meters in the 187?
Yes. And then you go all the way up to 24 in the 194.
Yeah, I mean that's a long turn.
Yeah, I'd
So-
like to ski that 194.
I mean, it was great, and then the other day we had 3-4 inches of snow on top of Groomers, and this thing just motored. I mean,
Right.
it was unflappable at whatever speed
Right.
I could find.
Kind of reminds me of like an Enforcer 104 with a flatter tail.
Yeah, I agree.
Like very similar
Yep.
feel. Versatile, you can release the tail edge pretty easily, but still strong and damp and
Yep.
powerful. So, if you're a more directional skier than an Enforcer 104 skier, this is a fantastic choice.
Yeah, similar weight too. I think we'll see,
Yeah, we're
just
up in
about
the
22.
2100. I think we need to,
You got a tear.
yeah, we're going to do a little adjustment there. We weighed before we started filming. This ski was coming out around 1900. This ski was coming out around 2100.
Yeah. So definitely the grams are there to support the construction and the turn shape. So, definitely that advanced expert skier that wants to push a ski, drive it, and go for it.
We
will.
could have just read it off the ski. It's 4.1 kilograms per pair.
Okay, and then you divide.
And divide by 2 and move the decimal over a few
Yeah.
times for grams. But yeah, super, super fun ski.
Yeah, really awesome.
And then lastly over there we have the Rallybird 104 Ti. So among the Rallybird skis, this is the only one that gets the Titanal beam. We also get carbon alloy matrix in this ski too. So no poplar wood core in this ski if we're going to compare it to the ski
Yep.
that we just looked at, the Sender 106. And Rossignol actually does something interesting. They put the carbon alloy matrix under the core
As opposed to on top.
as opposed
in
to on top of the
106.
core, which talking to Rossignol does change just the kind of the flex pattern and the personality of the ski. But this thing's pretty darn strong too.
Yep.
So this replaces the Rallybird Ti from last year. We had Emily skiing this yesterday, and what was that? Ripcord?
Yeah, ripcord, big wide trail at Sugarbush, and she was
She was ripping it.
top to bottom pretty fast.
Yeah, no, it seemed like she was having a blast on it, just really letting it run,
Yep.
going fast, very stable, smooth ski. I think this is, you can certainly draw a line between Rallybird 102 and 104 Ti in terms of ability level
Yep.
of aggressiveness. Same conversation as this ski to that ski. This thing, it's a real ski.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it earlier, kind of one of the differences between top and bottom carbon alloy matrix. And we talk about this with Stokely using a metal top sheet.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same exact thing.
Is
Yeah.
that this stiffer laminate is closer to your foot, so it's
What you feel first.
it's a lower friction of distance between
Yep.
your body and the stiff part of the ski. So
Yep.
more responsive, but still, this has the strength and power and the energy.
Yep. So, yeah, that's it. I think it's a great new line of skis.
Yep. Yeah,
think that-
definitely tightens up the family
Exactly.
a little bit, which
Yep.
is nice.
Makes it's easier to understand. It's more clear.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to choose among them. I think it just tells a better story.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about how there's a lot going on with these skis, and that has not changed. So
No, this really pushes Bob and I to our to our max. So,
yeah, but it's nice to have a challenge.
Yeah. No, like I was thinking about the Atomic Bent video
Right.
where we were just like, this is a wood core.
Right.
This is a wood core. This is a wood core. This one's a wood core. It gets some carbon.
Right.
Where this, it's like, there's a whole bunch of different materials and technology in here, which is really cool. It's just hard to
Right.
remember everything.
6 different skis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. 6. Yeah. Yeah. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like they could cut costs and make 3 skis and just make them in men's and women's lengths and widths.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. And
Right.
I think kudos to Rossignol for specifically designing and engineering 6 different skis.
Right.
So, great collection. As always, let us know if you have any questions about them. we will certainly have a full review of this ski at some point. Probably this ski too, because maybe this ski will come first, because this is really like the newest, in my opinion. But we'll certainly have a full review of them at some point in the next weeks, months. And until then, let us know if you have any questions.
Bye.